Woohoo! Hey guys, what's happening? I'm just getting started. Moving a little slow today. Knut Berger, how are you, buddy? Good to see you. Thanks for always being the first one on. Sometimes it's just you and me, man. I don't know if you ever think about that or not. If a smile on my face. Oh, na, 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 the tears of a clown. Hey, Yukon Hoops Forever. No, not yet. Ken Shore, hey, buddy, how are you? We're just letting people accumulate. I'm messing around. I got a great song in my head, and it won't leave. The tears of a clown when there's no one around. Just like Pagliacci did. Man, Smokey was amazing. Absolutely amazing. That song turns into a great rock and roll song. You know, I first heard it done as a really good rock and roll song is Brian Ray. Guy that plays guitar for Paul McCartney. He put out a solo album. It's been almost 20 years ago now, I guess. And he did a really good version of that. I think he does it in G. I like it in A better, but, you know. Here, I get a lot of notes like, hey, man, I never see your hands when you're playing, so I got to figure out my camera situation. Tune already, aren't I? So I have, you don't want to hear this. I just got in the mail my kit. I'm going to upgrade the bridge system on this guitar. It's got a Tone Pro system on it now that's probably 15 years old. And Tone Pros is awesome. I've fallen in love with Faber stuff now. Their locking post system's really good. So I got, it's right here. Faber. And I'm going to try to upgrade this guitar this week, and I'll play it for you again next week. But, so am I still out of tune? This guitar needs new strings. Badly. I figured I'd wait until I put the new bridge on. And that's getting a little sticky. Have that fossilized Mastodon ivory nut, which is fantastic. I think it's by far the best nut you can get. And Michael DeTemple cuts them perfectly. But if I let them sit uncovered, they can get a little sticky. Which is fine, because when I change strings, I just go clean them out, and it's all good. I think it's just dust, you know. Environmental damage. Come on, tuner, cooperate with. Give a brother a break here, would you? There we go. Whoops. Such a great song, you know, like, and it's such a simple thing. It's just A to D and G to D. Put a new set on my PRS. What'd you put on there, Hard Rock and Steel? That's Mark Diamante, by the way. Upgrade hell, I can't even get around. to changing strings. You know, I just get in the mood. Like, I buy my strings wholesale because it's a luxury of being in the business. Tears of a Clown. That's right, Hoss. You could sing the pee-pee out of this song, by the way. All right, Scotty. Yeah, sometimes it gets sticky. What was I talking about? This would also be a great song for Scotty Bradshaw to play. I love that song. XL 9 to 44. All right, there you go. 9.5 to 44. And we got the makings of a hell of a band right here. Scotty Bradshaw and Hoss Thompson together. Too bad we all live so far apart. I'd play bass behind you guys. Got a little echo going on there. Yeah, man, it's just A, D, G, D. And then the turnaround's really cool, right? So it goes down to the 5. And then flat 6. And then 6. And then back to the 4. Hey, Randy Kraft, how are you, buddy? You're doing good? You doing better? You doing well? You feeling good? I hope so. I can't remember all the words, there's just bits of it, you know. Man, not staying in tune at all. Yeah, time for new strings. And these are the pure nickel strings, too. They sound really good, but I don't know that they last that long. Unable to sit in the studio. All right. Thanks for asking. Well, welcome back, buddy. I'm glad you're well. Very cool. All right, everybody grab your guitar. Here's what we're going to do, right? It's just an A form. Suspended, and then throw in the... So it's kind of a G in there. Then the E. F minor, F sharp minor, and then D. Hoss, can you sing that? The tears of a clown when there's no one around. Just like Pagliacci did. Such a great song. It's like, what, 60 odd years old? Anyway, what's going on, guys? What's happening in the world? Rob Price says, I destroy nickel strings way too fast. Yeah. They're not super durable. Bam, but they sound good. Maybe I'm being wasteful. I don't know. But to me, I just love the sound. Motown rules. That's right. It's hard to beat some of those songs. I mean, that's why the Stones did so many of them. You know, they did the, what's the one? Oh, my God. I used to sing it, too. I'm blanking on it. But then, of course, they did but there's the other one. Oh, no. What was the other Motown song the Rolling Stones did? Poo Poo Doody. It'll come back to me. Suspended sounds like that pinko jazz nonsense to me. That's right. Well, you know where I learned suspended chords, Hoss, was from Pete Townsend. That's his whole thing, right? Too much dirt for that, right? Jay Frisbee, hey buddy, how are you? Says, I found nickel helped get a natural tone back into the Pod XT era of modeling, but I haven't tried them in years. Ain't too proud to beg, right? That's it. Thank you, Mark. Steve Caracas, Going to a Go-Go, that's another one. That's right. I was thinking of Ain't Too Proud to Beg. Charlie Wilkins, thank you, buddy. Now if you can get me started, I used to sing this song in a band. Now God, it's been 40 years at least since I sang it, maybe more than that. Anyway, I'll do that research and come back. The Hemingway of rhythm guitar, Old Townsend. I agree. I think his rhythm playing is outstanding. I mean, just all that stuff is just like simple chords, but the way he plays it is so good. You know, it's a. Oh, that's so nice. I don't really do it justice because I'm moving slow today. I'm unusually tired today, guys. Sorry. Ain't too proud to bang, sweet darling. Please don't leave me, girl. Don't you go. Ain't too proud to plead, baby, baby. Please don't leave me, girl. Don't you go. That's the easy part. What's the verse? So do you guys get the tie-in here with the shirt? Let me see that. Da-da-da. And everything's going on. Surely you guys recognize Speed Racer? Yeah, Pete Townsend is the riff master. Yeah, he's really is very creative. For seemingly a limited guitar player, you know, he really gets a lot. You dirty son of a gun. It's so concise, the less is more approach, because the rhythm section are sowing a hurricane around him. Yeah, I mean, when you that's a good way of putting it, actually, with those two guys playing rhythm behind him. He had to really be careful about what he played. So anyway, how about the FOMO into, yeah, right, Eminence Front. What key is that in? Limited edition white and red Tolex with the red and yellow badge, and it's not a bad idea. It's not a bad idea. So, you know, when we first made these amps, I mean, some of you heard this story already. I'll tell it again. But for the guys that either didn't hear it or forgot or don't care. When we first started making it here in my little house out back, I have a shed back there that has electricity from the 40s. Peter and I were just goofing off. So this is like the taillights from my 67 Mustang. They're in reverse, of course. The Mustang ones are concave. These are convex. But so I had a 67 Mustang. It was my first car. I really loved it. And those are the vents. And the logo, we took Speed Racer's logo, which was 5, and just put a 6 in front of it. And then changed it from red to blue, because there's probably some intellectual property issues there. But and then the front of our cabinets, it's a 63 split window Corvette. My wife's calling. Hold on one second. Let me make sure everything's okay. Hey, darling, everything okay?
Hey, oh shoot, you have your show.
I'm in the middle of it right now, but
I'm so sorry. Everything's okay.
Okay.
Just trying to, yeah.
I'll call you back. Okay.
Okay, bye.
All right, love you, bye. Apologies. There's only a couple people I'll interrupt the show for, and Wendy Boul is one of them. So anyway, it's all hot rod stuff, 60s You know, our cabinets are the split window Corvette rear window. I just took the 3D rendering of it and flattened it on a computer, and that's it. I was lucky when we were designing it. My then next door neighbor was a horror movie producer. He still is a horror movie producer. He's just kind of retired, I think. Named Bill Malone. You know, he did House on Haunted Hill and stuff like that. Really cool horror movie. And he was really, really, hey, Pat, you didn't know that. See, there you go. Somebody needed to hear it. He was really, really good with technology back then. He had an enormous Macintosh computer, which this was 2001, 2002. So someone being advanced like that was unusual. And we literally found a 3D rendering of we just literally went and made it 2D and it went boom, and I went, oh, that's cool, that's perfect. And then we found pictures on the internet and we designed, I still have the drawings somewhere, we printed them out. And he had a color printer, which was really badass back then. And so we kind of made up some drawings of it. And then, here we are. So it was kind of a joke, you know, like we didn't really think we were going into business. We just thought we'd make some amps, we'd have a good time. We were making amps for Peter's gig with Cheryl. She needed lower stage volumes, but good sound, you know. What's going on over here, dogs? So it caught on by accident. We were just having fun. Since then, I've done interviews in magazines and stuff, and people said, oh, it's brilliant, brilliant subliminal marketing you're doing there. No, it's just accident. Okay. Who's doing that? Trip, stop. Stop, right now. Got a dog just licking himself like a cow chewing his cud. I can't, and on the microphone I'm going, ah! Yeah, no, it's not a thought out, premeditated thing. We just did what we liked. 65 comes from the fact that we couldn't come up with a name. 65 was the year that I was born. And we used it as a temporary placeholder. We named the company 65 Corp. And then we'll come up with a name for the amps, right? And then here we are. It just kind of happened. We never came up with anything better, or we're lazy. One of the two. I don't know. So anyway, 60. Now do you see the 60s thing? As I got my Speed Racer shirt on. And there's the tie-in. Let's see if I can get you a little more level on the guitar. Cool origin story, cars and guitars. Yeah, man, I'm a pretty simple dude. What? Sam is asking if that's her best friend she can hear. Oh, yeah. Probably. Yeah. So I have border collies, as you guys know. And they have very sensitive skin. So, trying to get a little more. What's going on my mixer here? There we go. Why is it not showing up? SSL 360. Come on, dude. What's happening? They have very sensitive skin, so this time of year they get very itchy. Okay, now my software is not working right. I can't see I can't believe this. Doesn't show up. Okay, so I can't control it. It's cranked over here, but I know there's a software improvement I can make because the guitar is too quiet. Anyway, that's really annoying. I come from the software business, so when software screws up, it pisses me off. Oh, I think she meant me. Yeah, it's a crazy heat wave there. I heard you guys are cooking over there. The Open is in a couple weeks, right? Is it going to be okay? Going to be a cooker? Yeah. what's going on over there? Global weirding? Is that what's happening? I heard all over Europe it's unusually hot. Where was it? Somewhere. The whole electrical grid just went down because of the heat wave. Was it France? Something like that happened. All right, let's get back to business. So anyway, that's how we got started. And I love old cars and guitars, and I never get tired of it. I never get tired of it. You guys probably seen me drive. It's pictures of me driving all these old cars and having fun. So 65. Let's talk about 65 for a minute. What's going on? Proceeding with John Thompson at Bad Cat. And we're going to be... Hi, Charles. How are you, buddy? Charles Olivier, everyone. We went to music school together in 1986 and 1987. Charles is a French-speaking European who's a hell of a guitar player. I always forget, Charles, are you in Switzerland now or are you back in France? I can't remember. I apologize. I'm really bad. Hey! Hey, Samantha's here. Back to guitars. What did someone say? Old cars? Yeah. All right, Samantha, good to see you. That's cool. He knows about the potential surprise. That's fine. I think it's just something to look forward to. It's really nice. I'm excited to see you in person. It's going to be great. There's friends from England going to come over and visit in Los Angeles. So anyway, 65, we're going to start making amps. We're proceeding with the collaboration amp immediately, which is a little Elvis variant. It will say Bad Cat on it, and it'll have my name and a little 65 badge on the control panel probably. But we're taking a little Elvis and we're ameliorating it to stuff that Bad Cat likes to do. Still Switzerland. Okay, thanks, Charles. I'm sorry. I'm tired today. I'm forgetting. Anyway, Charles and I had a lot of fun in music school together 40 years ago, and we're still friends. It's really nice. Going to Musicians Institute is a heavily bonding experience. It's a hard school. It was. I don't know if it is anymore, but this is back when Howard Roberts owned it. You know, the Wrecking Crew guys were the teachers there. So, Kurt Stoppel, hey, you're one of the cooler amp builder. Oh, thanks, man. I think the coolest is Mike Z. Oh, he's cooler than me, and of course Reinhold Bogner. Reinhold is very respectful. Anyway, love your amps. Well, thanks. I'm glad I ranked third with you, Kurt. That's very nice. I'm happy to be third. So anyway, we're making those amps right away, and then we're going to start laying out, you know, the amps that I'm bringing back. So that's all in process. I don't have any major updates. That's right. You're going to come to NAMM, Charles. That's right. We're going to hook up. I will be there at NAMM this year. I will be displaying at NAMM this year. So, or next year, excuse me. So that's about it on 65. No incredible updates other than we're moving forward. Finally, we're not stuck in the mud. Yeah, you are coming to meet me, Charles, and I will be there. You and I are going to reconnect. I really look forward to it. Yeah, so Pat, I'm going to do... John and John are great. Yeah, they're really good friends of mine, and I'm really excited to work with them, Charlie, because they're great people. And John Thompson and I have been very friendly. I wouldn't even say rivals. We're in the same space. We work together nicely, and we like each other, and we wish each other well, and we help each other whenever we can. It's always been that way. Over the course of 15 years since he bought Bad Cat, I think. Something like that. So anyway, so the first few amps I'm going to bring back are legacy amps. So like the Stone Pony and the little Elvis. That's all going to look the same. It's all going to be the same. The new amps, like this prototype and a couple others that I'm working on, I might evolve the look. I'm not going to change it, you know what I mean? Like not just wholesale turn left and what is that thing? But I would like, you know what I would like to do, and if there's anybody watching this recording or live, if you have a computer and you're a graphic artist, I would love to take submissions from for ideas about the new look. I would like to just evolve it. I can put it in AI, and get some good ideas, which are not bad, to be honest with you. AI is getting so good. But yeah, I would love to get some opinions on it because I want to make something that you want to buy, not something that I suspect you want to buy. Getting your input and your opinions is really, really valuable to me. I would like to keep the same aesthetic, so when you look at it, even from a distance, you go, oh, that's a 65. But Fender, Marshall, everybody, they evolved their look over time. And it was subtle, it wasn't huge. But a tweed Fender to a blackface Fender to to the 80s Fenders, all that stuff, they changed. But you never looked at it and went, what is that amp? It was always a Fender. I think the change from the tweed, to the brown and white Tolex was a big jump. But Fender was a little company then. And electric guitar had not taken over the world like it has now. So if you have any thoughts or ideas, please tell me. I'm sincerely interested in it. I would love to get your input. Speaking of Fender, segue, apparently Thomann, who's the largest distributor of musical equipment in Europe, they're based out of Germany. I've worked with those guys. They're really cool. They're countersuing Fender. And the main lawsuit that Fender's holding up as legal precedent is based on a polished grills on top. Oh, yeah, we like shiny things. Okay, Scotty, copy that. I hear you. The lawsuit that Fender's holding over everyone's head, just to recap in case you're not familiar with it, and if you are, sorry, bear with me for a second. But the lawsuit, so the way the law works, laws aren't all written out in books, right? If there were, it would be bigger than the Smithsonian. We have a system here in the United States, and pretty much the same system in Europe, where the laws are based on precedents. So what that means is, if there was a similar case, and it was adjudicated by a judge, you as an attorney can go in and say, well, Your Honor, in a similar situation in the past, this judge ruled, the carpeted look, thanks, Jay, a similar judge ruled this way. And that is a precedent. He set a precedent by doing that, right? So when there's a legal precedent, then people can use it for their own lawsuits. What happened in Germany, long-winded explanation, sorry. What happened in Germany was the case, Fender sued a Chinese distributor. I can't remember their name. It doesn't really matter. But they sued a Chinese distributor, and when it came time to go to court, the Chinese distributor didn't show up. So that's what you call a vacated ruling. I'm a lawyer's kid that started law school, so it's a vacated ruling, which means, yeah, thanks, Charles. I'll answer you. That's a good question. The vacated ruling means that Fender won by default. If you don't show up for a lawsuit, your court date, you lose. But, this is a very important but. A vacated ruling is not legal precedent in the United States nor in Europe. Fender's lawyers are claiming that it is. And they're kind of doing it like, that is not legal precedent. So they are assuming that most guitar manufacturers, little guys, like Lance Lerman, they're going after, don't understand that. They just get this big scary letter from Fender, and Fender's telling them to do all kinds of stuff, destroy guitars and quit selling anything and blah, 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 based on the legal precedent of this court case. Now, Fender's not actually suing these guys yet. They're just, thanks, Mark. I appreciate that. Thank you. Noted. I would like to do some Marshall stuff. My interpretation of Marshall and Peter Stroud together. Anyway, I'll stay on topic. I know we're all musicians. We're all kind of ADHD, so it's okay if I jump around. So anyway, it's a very tenuous thing that they're doing. They're trying to tell everyone in the world to quit making anything that looks like a Strat. And their intellectual property on, their patent on the shape expired in 1979. Now let that soak in for a second. 1979 was 47 years ago. Now the Stratocaster was introduced in 1954. So they only had the patent for 25 years and it expired. Leo Fender and the powers that be thought, it's a shape, it's an S, it's a utility shape. It's just two cutaways so you can reach around and do things. And then the contours just make it comfortable. It's not what you would call artwork. Now, some of you who love Stratocasters think it's artwork. I personally do too. I love the shape of a Stratocaster. But it's not really what you would call artwork. It's not a thing. But anyway, so it's been expired for almost twice as long as they had the patent. And lawyers are trying to stand in front of a patent lawsuit. They're going to try to walk in front of a judge and go, Your Honor, Lance Lerman at LSL Guitars is taking business away from us. There's market confusion between our guitars and his, even though Lance's headstock is different. Paul Reed Smith has been sent papers too, and his headstock is crazy different, right? So, and the judge is going to say, well, okay, what intellectual property do you have on this? And they're going to say, well, none, because our patent expired 47 years ago. The judge is going to be, I'm sorry, say that again, 47 years. Did you just now notice that other people are making S-shaped guitars? Well, no, Your Honor, everyone on earth makes an S-shaped guitar. That's right, they do. Randy, I'll address that. I have a pet theory on what's going on. It makes me sad, but I think what's happening. So anyway, I don't know the new CEO. I haven't met him. I'm friends with one of the past CEOs, and I've known other people that are high-level executives there. It's, for the most part, really nice people. It's a good company. It's a hard-working company. They make their employees work really hard, but it's good company. So and I'm getting to that, Charlie. It's a good question. Charlie says, what do you think Fender's motive is? So I did the math, right? So Fender makes about 3,300 guitars a week. Lance Lerman makes 5 to 10. So he's 0.006% of Fender's production when he's at his maximum. So there's no evidence whatsoever that he's damaging their business. That's a rounding error, 0.006% of the production that Fender has. Let that sink in for a second. I can't think of a word that doesn't start with A and end with whole. That's unbelievable. And if you guys have ever met Lance Lerman, first off, his guitars are great. I highly recommend you buy one to help him fight this lawsuit, fight this stuff. His guitars are fantastic. He's an excellent luthier. I love his guitars, but more than that, I love Lance and his wife, Lisa. They're the nicest people. If you ever met them, you'd be like, oh my God, Fender's going after them? They're so great. I mean, they really are. And they're just nice, honest, hardworking people who love making guitars. They're us. They're our people. They really are. They really are our people. Same with Michael DeTemple here. Fender went after him 25 years ago and they settled it. But anyway, so now Thomann is actually suing them, which means they are going to have to withstand scrutiny, judicial scrutiny, for these claims they're sending out. That's bad news for Fender because the claims they're making don't stand up. It's not, these aren't something, there's no legal precedent there, even though their attorneys are bluffing and saying, no, you don't understand the legal system in Europe. Actually, it's pretty similar to ours. It's not, It's not much different, but legal precedent is the same there as it is here. A vacated ruling is not a legal precedent. Imagine if it were a legal precedent. Let's just go on a sidebar for a second. If a vacated ruling were a legal precedent, you could sue everybody on earth, and if they didn't show up, you won by default, right? It doesn't make sense. Like, it's such bullshit, pardon my language, that they would suggest that. Because that's just the easiest out ever. You could just have a room full of lawyers filing lawsuits against everybody. And the people that didn't show up for the lawsuit, for the court date, lost. That's not the legal system. That's not justice. That's not jurisprudence, right? That's just nonsense. And that's actually what Fender's trying to do. So I know they dropped papers on Paul Reed Smith. Paul Reed Smith already won a huge lawsuit with Gibson. And he's not the kind of guy you want to tangle with. I think he's an extremely intelligent guy. He's a very successful businessman. The guitar business is not his main business. He does medical research and stuff. So he has the resources and the people around him to do whatever he needs to do to handle this, and he will. So here, let's get back to why is this happening? What a huge mistake this is for Fender. What a giant PR catastrophe it is for them, and I think it is. They have a new CEO. I haven't met the gentleman. He might be great. I think his name is Bud something. I don't know the guy. I'm not going to diss him. I've never met him. Spruce Creek says, how in the world they think this was a good idea? I don't know. I can't answer that. I think it's a horrible idea on many, many levels. So when you get into a big corporation like that, especially a publicly traded corporation, one of the things that the board of directors will do is dangle an enormous bonus in front of people. If you can get our stock price up, if you can improve our market share, blah, 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 at that level, literally, it's probably $1 million bonus or more. So I think this guy came in, got lured by a lot of money, a lot of promises, and set out his attack dogs. I don't know what they're not going to change Fender's numbers by going after Lance Lerman. Bye, Randy. Thanks. I'm glad you're better, buddy. We should talk on the phone. Sending all my best energy to you, man. I hope everything's great. So anyway, and it is just an opinion. Take it with a grain of salt. That's my theory, because it doesn't make any sense at all. The only reason someone would do something like this if there's an astonishing amount of money at the end of the road for him. So getting their stock price up, getting their market share up, I don't know, improving their sell-through numbers. Maybe he thought, if I get rid of Paul Reed Smith, who makes a damn good guitar, that Blue Sky is pretty exceptional guitar. He doesn't make guitars on the level of Fender, though, so the smaller the maker is, the easier it is for them to pay attention to fine detail like that. Jay. New CEO of Fender. Yeah. Bjorn, hi, buddy. It's pretty obvious to me Fender wants a licensing fee on every Strat. That's very possible, too, by anyone. Free money, even 3-5% would be huge. I think that's the end game, and that's a good theory, too. I don't know how they would administrate that. The only company I can think of that does not make Strat-shaped guitars is Gibson. Everyone else does. So how many guitar manufacturers are they going to license and manage? And, you got to put people on that. It takes resources to manage a license deal like that. And then you have to audit them. Oh, I think you're underpaying us. I need to audit your books. And it's a lot, but it's very possible. Bjorn, I think that's equally a good theory. Anyway, the part that bothers me, this is my humble opinion, take it with a grain of salt, big asterisk over my head, right, is that they're going after, other than Paul Reed Smith, they're going after little guys because they're in a predatory mood, thinking, these people are so small. Hey, Alex, what's up, buddy? Hey, it's my brother Alex from Columbia, Missouri. How are you, dude? They're in a predatory mode and thinking that Lance Lerman doesn't have the resources to fight us, so he will capitulate. Just like a bully. They're just bullying. Man, I don't like that. I don't like bullies. Hoss Thompson, I don't think you're off base here. Perhaps I'm being cynical, but I suspect it's no such thing as bad press. All press is good press, right? Trouble is in guitars are really such a thing as bad press. Could be. Everyone's talking about Fender now. I don't know if they're talking about them in the way they want them to, but it could be all this stuff. Could all be a stew of it. That's a very cynical way to run a business, I think, especially when you're at the top of the game. Like, who's bigger than Fender? Like, why does the 800-pound gorilla have to do these things? I don't understand it, and that's what gets under my skin, because I know most of the people they're going after, and they're all great, and they're just guys like you and me that love guitars so much they went into making guitars. Like, and in all fairness, with our stuff, I made sure this does not look like anyone else's gear. We have very distinct features because I studied intellectual property in law school, and I worked at a intellectual property law firm for a little bit. So I'm scared of intellectual property lawsuits. But everyone loves a Strat and a Tele. And every guitar maker on earth makes a Strat and Tele because it's not protected property. An S-shaped guitar, look at a Telecaster. It's the shape of an acoustic guitar with a cutaway. It's just flat. It's not hollow. There's nothing crazy about it. And Fender's headstock is kind of a offshoot on a violin headstock or something. You know what I mean? Like, it's not what you would call everything. Every feature on Fender is not like some incredible invention out of the blue, Oh yeah, it's what I would call a shithouse tactic, no doubt about that. Yeah, I'm not cool with that. I don't know that it's going to be a big deal. Like, I think hopefully someone on the board, I'm going to quit for today. Playing. I think probably someone on the board is going to say, okay, whoops. And I have a feeling it's going to cost Bud, whatever his name is, I'm blanking on it. Hey, Alex, I love you too, buddy. You take care. We'll talk real soon. So, anyway, I think I just can't imagine this is going to be anything with legs. I've talked to some people that are involved in this. Excuse me. And they all feel very confident that it's just going to get thrown out. In the meantime, they're spending a fortune on attorneys. So the law firm that Lance, and like, he's working with 4 or 5 other people in together as a group. They're the group that I think Paul Reed Smith hired to beat Fender. Gibson, not Fender. So they have high quality people, but it's expensive when you hire a firm like that. I think it's $1,400 an hour because it's a big group. It's not just one guy. So they're pooling their resources. They have a GoFundMe page. I should put that up here. Gosh darn it. Hold on. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, there we go. Hold on a second. Let me put the link up. They've raised $52,000 so far, according to this. And I would ask you as a friend, put in $5, put in £5, put in €5, whatever nothing, right? Help these guys out. So there's the link for LSL's GoFundMe page. I did this before I went over there to visit them, and they said, you raised us about $1,000. So you guys, I didn't even put the link up before I just mentioned it. So if you guys got to, just put in $1. You know what I mean? Like, it does, just put your goodwill towards this. Because I think you're right. Someone just wrote, I'm sorry, it scrolled up past it. Let me get back. Yeah, Christopher Mono says, they're going to pull this back. It's going to end up as a bad publicity stunt. Yeah, I really hope it's not a publicity stunt, because wow, what a bad decision. You know, the thing is, and like everyone likes Fender, and Fender's been around forever, right? They're the cornerstone of modern guitar stuff, right? And we all want to like Fender. We all don't, none of us want to be mad at Fender. And I'm personally not. I kind of see through it for what it is. I think there's a new guy there who's trying sort of a swing for the fences tactic that failed. And it's not going to work. So now I think the biggest challenge for them is, how do you pull back without losing face? My humble suggestion would just to go, whoops, upon reflection, this is a really bad idea. We're going to just forget this ever happened. We apologize. See you at NAMM. You know, that to me would be the best way to handle it. Not be prideful and try to drag it out or sweep it under the rug. Just own it. Look, it was a mistake. People make mistakes. We're human. We've learned from this mistake. Going forward, we're going to think about this sort of thing in a different way. That would, everybody, you and I would both go, hey, all right, that's cool, Fender. Thanks for being a grown-up, you know, about this. Hoff says, Gibson did an accelerated 180 on the authentic thing after the shitstorm that caused. I'm sure it's a storm and a teacup. Yeah. It's very disturbing, though, isn't it? Because we all love Fender. You know, Fender, it's Fender. Come on, man. Like, you like Jimi Hendrix, you like Fender. You know what I mean? Like, you like Stevie Ray Vaughan, you like Fender. You like Eric Clapton, you like Fender. You like Eric Johnson, you like Fender. You like Buddy Holly, you like Fender. You know what I mean? Like, Fender is the through line on the whole history of modern guitar rock and roll. I think, you know, Fender, Marshall, and Gibson are the three legs of that chair. You know, Rob Price says it's sort of like Winchester suing Remington because their shotguns look very similar. Function dictates form. Yeah, that's true. The barrels are round and long, aren't they? You sons of bitches. So anyway, I'm going to quit ranting. I only got about 10 more minutes now, but I wanted to give you guys an update on 65. We're rolling, and I'm excited about it. I was kind of down. I got sick as hell a couple weeks ago, and I'm still moving kind of slow. But we're moving. We're rolling. And I think the way this is going to turn out might be completely different than I imagined before. I think, yeah, Haas, that's a good point. It hits harder because they were a more proletarian company. Yeah. Fender's always been kind of the working man's gear and not the elitist, you know, bolt-on neck guitars and amps that are fantastic amps. But, you know, they're very simple. The construction is simple. The components, you know, like everything. They're not complicated, crazy amps. They're just simple, well-made stuff. You know, their cabinets are made out of pine, for God's sakes. You know, they use Jensen speakers, like, you know, average working man stuff. From what I understand, Leo Fender didn't really care. He just bought parts that he could get so that he could turn out a product that people could afford. Now, Fenders, for you European guys, I know Fenders were wildly expensive over there in the past, before, I don't know what happened. But like in the 60s, 50s, 60s, and 70s, Fenders were hugely expensive, which is the whole reason Jim Marshall went into business, right? Because Fenders cost 3 times what a Marshall did in Britain. But over here, Fenders were always affordable. I mean, Peavey was more affordable, but when I was a kid, I could buy a Blackface Deluxe for $200, and I knew it would work. The worst case scenario is it needed tubes. Charles Olivier, I forgot to mention, you asked about maintenance. The only thing that's going to go possibly bad on one of my amps that's like 20 years old are the filter caps. They do age out, and they're not expensive to replace. And if you ever run into that, I can help you. Don't worry, I can get them for you for wholesale. Not that I want to start selling parts, but I can direct you to someone who will sell it to you for a good price. So anyway, I don't know what's going to happen. I hope it comes to an end soon. Because it's a huge unnecessary distraction. It's sort of like the war. Like, why are we doing this? I don't know. People have explanations and I don't understand them. So, why is Fender doing this? I can't tell you. I can't even imagine, other than someone thinks there's a lot of money at the end of doing this. Either from their own business increasing or from someone mentioned here getting a license fee. I don't know what it is. I don't know what the end game is, but no matter what, it's done more damage to their brand than it's done good. If their stock price goes up, the stock price for you and I has gone down. And again, like, I know people that work at Fender. I know executives at Fender right now, and they're really nice people. Honestly, they're good people. Hard Rock and Steel says, what are the symptoms of filter caps going bad? Charles, why don't you send me a note on the side? Usually when you start hearing a loud hum in the amp, Mark, that's you'll start hearing 60 cycle hum really loud. That's what filter caps do, is filter out the 60 cycle noise from your AC line. If you're in Europe, it's 50 cycle hum, which is a hum right around G. In North America, 60 cycle hum is kind of in between A and A sharp. So if you just start hearing this, woo, now your filter caps might be getting worn out. They do wear out. It's normal. They usually last a minimum of 10 years, often 20 years. Depends on how much you play your amp, that kind of thing. So, but Charles, there are distributors in Europe, and I can tell you, what amp do you have? It's usually just a can, a 25 microfarad on one side, 25 microfarad on the other. And that's it. And they're cheap, like $10. You're going to pay more just to get someone to put it in, but there's only like 4 wires. So it's not a big surgery. Any competent amp tech can change out your filter caps in 20, 30 minutes. You're going to spend more time pulling the chassis out of the cabinet than you are working on it. I don't recommend you do it yourself, because filter caps store a crap load of electricity, like enough voltage to kill you, 400 or 500 volts. So don't start playing with those yourself. Take it to someone who knows the protocol to do that. Anyway, we're coming up on 1 o'clock. So thanks for the ideas on the amp look and suggestions. I really like that. Thanks for the good questions about everything else. I like all your other theories about Fender. I think those are valid. I'm just a little more like, it's always cash. Oh, Pat Miller. Hey, man, thank you. You donated to Lance. Thank you very much, Pat. I appreciate that. Real easy on Venmo. Excellent. So again, I'll put the link up here again, just in case you guys missed it. I would really, as a favor to me, if you would just throw whatever you can at Lance Lerman. If it's $5, it's great. If it's $100, God bless you. Whatever you got, So it's okay. Every bit helps. And these are really, really good people. I want to go do. I talked about doing my show out there with Lance and Lisa one day, just so you guys could get to meet them. We can do a fundraiser for them out there. You can see their factory, which is really nice. Very cool, and all the guys that work there, cool young guys. It's a company we're supporting. So do this, or if you're on the fence about buying a guitar, go look up LSL Guitars. I'll put the link up for that too. They're on Facebook also. Yeah. LSL Instruments is the name of their company. Let me copy that and bop it over here to you guys. So if you're on the if you're on the fence about buying a guitar, the profit on a guitar like this will help Lance and Lisa. So anyway, that's about it. So it's recap. 65's moving forward. I'm very happy about that. Fender is increasingly looking like they stepped in doo-doo. And then I'll come back next week. Let's open this up really quick. That's the big thing on the internet, unboxing, right? Let's unbox some gear, right? So, oh, this is glued so heavy I'm going to need a kniff. Now, let's see if I have a pair of scissors in here. Whoop, noisy desk. I got one of those old tanker desks, like World War II steel desks. Kind of noisy. Let's just stab this mofo and see what happens. I'll give you a look at the Faber setup. It's really cool. Man, this is crazy. I don't have my pocket knife on me either. This is some seriously glued together stuff, man. What the heck? There's no knife around here. Usually I always have knives and scissors. I'm a cutter. Look at me. I'm a big, strong man. All right, there's an envelope of something. There it is. It's an envelope in an envelope. Ah, here it is. The whole kit. Aged nickel. Really cool stuff. They have a unique locking system that's hard to explain. You can go online and see it, but man, it holds. And your guitar kind of comes to life a little better. It's Kniffy. That's right, Hoss. That's older German relatives that I said Kniff. Silly English with their silent letters. Anyway, yeah, it's interesting. So I got the tailpiece and the studs, and then the bridge and the posts for the bridge. It's a Nashville setup. And I did it on my 335. And wow, did it just come to life, like boom. And the pickups, I forgot what they're called now. They're not burst buckers, but they're crap. Why am I blanking on the name? The better ones that they make beyond burst buckers. I forgot what they are. And for a while I thought, oh, I'm going to have to change these, and then I put this bridge on and I went, nah, it's good. It's really good. And Michael's going to do a nut for me on it too. So anyway, so I'm going to put this on this week. I don't know how much of it you'll hear on the internet. Hopefully you do. But I'll give you a full report on the Faber setup. Tone Lock Master Kit. And it's the aged nickel aluminum alloy tailpiece. Blah, 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 blah. Like it's all the shit. So I'm obsessed with making guitars ring. I like guitars that sustain and ring, and you can hear more of the string, that kind of thing. So, everything happens between the saddle on the bridge and the nut. So those two things have to be custom buckers. Thank you, Mark. I love it. I have a support staff here. Haas Thompson says, I wonder if an XK style grill on your amp would work. Shrunken, obviously, maybe. Could be cool. Could be cool. I do like English cars quite a bit. There's a lot of great classic English body lines that I think are useful. I have my little Triumph. I have 64 Triumph TR4. I love that car. Dude, it's just fun, zippy. It's so low to the ground, it's crazy. Like if I quit smoking cigarettes like 30 odd years ago, but if I still smoked, I could just put one out while I was driving. It's that low to the ground. It's so much fun. Anyway, here we are at 1 o'clock. Can't talk about cigarettes anymore. It's 2026. Yeah, guys, almost 30, more than 30 years ago. Quit smoking cigarettes 34 years ago. Ooh, that's nuts, huh? Pat Miller, take care, Dan. Enjoyed the visit. Thank you, likewise, buddy. And thank you for donating to Lance. I appreciate that. Mark Diamante says, why haven't you bought a PRS yet? Then PRS guitars ring like no other. Yeah, to be honest with you, I don't get along with them that well. I like the Blue Sky, though, and I played the Tele version. A friend of mine is on the board there, so I got to get a pre-example of it's the Blue Sky equivalent of a Telecaster, which is great. Yeah, Haas, I have a 64 Triumph TR4. I'll send you pictures, or I can put them up here. I love it. And I've had the motor completely improved. It's got a Toyota 5-speed transmission in it. I put modern brakes on it. It's got Willwood disc brakes, that kind of thing. Old cars like that don't like to stop or turn. I put really nice, Bilstein shocks on it. Did all new synthetic bushings on the whole car. So it's a pretty solid little car. But yeah, when COVID was on, when COVID was happening, did you guys watch that show, COVID? Anyway, when COVID was happening, I watched Ford versus Ferrari like 10 times. And I was trying to get someone to rebuild the motor on my Triumph, and everybody was backed up because that's what everyone did. They got these EIDL loans and went, Ben Fulton, hey, it's my brother in New Zealand. Hey, man, good to see you, buddy. Everybody bought old cars. And I bought my Triumph, not during COVID, but the motor needed to get rebuilt. And everybody was backed. It was like 18 months, and they wanted like $8,000. It's a little straightforward. Like you should be $2,000 to rebuild it. So anyway, I was watching Ford versus Ferrari, and I just Googled who worked with Carroll Shelby in Los Angeles. And hey, Marcus, good to see you too, buddy. Who worked with Carroll Shelby in Los Angeles? And the first thing that came up was this company here in Van Nuys, which is close to me where I live, called Valley Head Service. And there's a guy that ran Valley Head Service named Larry Offria. And he designed so when you're watching all those cars in the 60s that they won Le Mans with, Larry Offria built those motors. And then he became the head designer for the GM race team. He built dragsters for, everyone big in the 70s and 80s. Just a monster guy. So literally it showed up on my phone. Maybe I had a cocktail. I was watching a movie. I went beep and I pushed on it. And I'll be damned if Larry Offria didn't answer the phone. And he's like 83 years old. He's passed away since then, rest his soul. But anyway, we're a super nice guy and very friendly. And he's a farm boy from out in Oxnard. I'm kind of a small town guy from central Missouri. So we vibed really well. And we had like an hour and a half conversation. And I said, well, I was hoping maybe you guys could give me a recommendation because I'm having a hard time finding anybody. Maybe you just know some private guy that'll rebuild it for me. Or maybe one of your employees will do it at night, after work or something. And he goes, now, what is it? What motor is it? And I said, it's a 2.2 liter straight 4 Triumph. It's, big displacement 4-cylinder motor. Kind of a tractor motor, tough, big iron block. And he goes, oh, yeah, I remember that car. That's a fun little car, isn't it? And I go, yeah, I really like mine. It's sexy. And it makes a hell of a good noise. And he goes, why don't you just bring it over here? We'll do it. And I went, oh, no, I can't. I can't afford you. You guys build high-end race machines. And he goes, nah, it will be expensive. I got to admit, if we were to do it, it'd be really expensive. And I said, well, what are we talking about? And he goes, maybe $1,500 or $1,800. Because my motor is a total lawnmower for these guys. It's literally a chainsaw motor. And I said, no shit, really? And pardon me. But he goes, yeah, it's not a big deal. And he goes, and right now I got a guy working for me. If you guys know racing at all, there's a family here in Los Angeles that invented funny cars. And the guy is named Don Landee. He invented funny cars. And his son, Robert, was working at Valley Head Service. And he said, Robert Landee is here, and we can put him on it if you want. And I went, oh, great. Oh, my God, I can't believe this. So I took the motor over there as fast as I could. Unfortunately, during COVID, everybody got sick. It sat there for a year and a half. And then the guy came back and broke his hip, sat there for another 8 months. So I just got the motor back about a year ago. And then my mechanic here, who's putting the motor in now, he got his truck and his trailer stolen from in front of his shop. So I had to wait months for him to have free time. And it was a big, huge thing. But anyway, it's finally coming back together. I'll send you pictures, Hoss. You'll dig it. But it's red, black leather interior, walnut dash. I redid the whole dashboard. But the main upgrade is that, so the motor is 115 horsepower or something like that, really small. We got it up to around 160, which in that little bitty car is a lot. It's zippy. It's not fast, but it's zippy. And then when I have that Toyota truck 5-speed in there, first gear is pretty agricultural. So it pulls from when you're sitting at a dead stop, it pulls, but you burn that first gear really fast, like you and then immediately get into second. But it takes off. It's really fun. I don't like going more than about 60 or 70 miles an hour in that car because it's so little. It's kind of like driving a golf cart. But man, just cruising around town here in LA, it's really fun. And it's so little I can weave in and out of traffic. And it's got that neat horn and, the whole thing. It's very cool. Lots of torque. That's right, Hoss. So the transmission that I put into it, I know we're getting off on car shit here. So you like the McCarty, is that what it's called? Mark, those are good guitars. I mean, I had a Grissom for a while. I really loved it. But, Hoss, it gets like, if I don't drive it like a redneck, I can get 30 miles per gallon. It's amazing. So anyway, the transmission comes out of a 90s Toyota truck. They call it the ISIS transmission. All those ISIS guys out in the desert, they have those 90s Toyota trucks because they never break down, right? So amongst the English car guys, like I have a friend who has a 66 Austin Healey 3000, has the same transmission. He's the one that turned me on to it. He said, you got to find one. Doesn't matter what it costs. If it's broken, just rebuild it. But I found one that only had, I think it has maybe 40, 50,000 miles on it, which for that transmission, they're usually good for 500,000 miles. So I'm going to put maybe 500 miles a year on this car, right? So I have the ISIS transmission in there, and it was really great. And then when I got the car all together, something started happening in the motor, and it was deep in the connecting rods on the pistons. And hey, you know what? Let's just take it apart and make it killer. So anyway, the guys at Valley Head Service, the people who built Carroll Shelby's race cars, built my little Triumph TR4 and didn't charge me an arm and a leg. We improved everything. They balanced it. Larry told me, the quote was, you will not know this motor is running unless you hear the exhaust. He said, most people balance to an ounce or something. I balance to 1/8 of a gram. I didn't know such things. He goes, well, when you have an 8-cylinder dragster that spins up to 14, 15,000 RPMs, it has to be balanced perfectly or it'll just fall apart. So they balanced my motor to 1/8 of a gram. They poured it and polished it. I have all the build pictures. If you guys are car guys, you'll love it. I know Hoss, you'll probably get it. When you look at the pictures, like it breathes. The head really breathes. And they reshaped my valves. It looks like silverware. It's amazing. Put all new springs and everything in there. Yeah, cool, Mark. Please do. So anyway, I'm just excited as hell to get it back together. I got 2 Webers. I got Italian Weber carburetors, not the newer Spanish ones, but the real 60s Webers from Italy. Um, what else? It's got a header. Upgraded the ignition. I put an electric fuel pump in it, the whole thing, so I can regulate fuel pressure for the Webers. Yeah, it's a cool car. It'll be done hopefully in the fall, maybe. But I'll send you, Haas, we'll reach out on Messenger. I'll show you pictures of it. It's a cutie. It's very cute. All right, I just wasted 10 minutes boring you guys about my car. Anyway, yeah, I love old cars. Look at all this stuff. This is all old cars. Look what's up here. I love old cars. I have a problem. Hi, my name's Dan. I'm addicted to cars. I know it was a TR2 or 3, but can you relive La Dolce Vita? Yeah, right. Well, TR4 doesn't look like, the TR6. Very different looking car. TR4 I think is really cute. I love my car. You got wire wheels, the whole thing. I don't know if I can put a picture on here or not, but I don't know. I could find it on this computer. It's on my phone. So see how it says on the bottom of the screen, Dan Boul, nerd. That's me. That's me. I love old cars. I never get tired of them. And this car is so cute. And I take, we go riding around, and it's so nice in LA, a cool night in LA where the stars are out. And I don't even know how to put the top up on the thing, to be honest with you. I just throw a tarp over the car. Why would you put the top up? If it's raining, just cover the car. You can't drive these cars in the rain anyway. So, anyway, I got turned on to Haas. I got turned on to Triumphs. I had a TR6 when I lived in England. I had an old 76 TR6, which wasn't that old then. It was only 14 years old then. The tops were ornamental. That's well said. Yeah. It's really just to keep bird poop off of you, because if you drive those things in the rain, you're just getting wet. And then the inside of your car is getting wet. So I have a tarp in the trunk. I have a car cover in the trunk, and I just cover it. It's easy. And it's such a little car, you always go whoosh, and it's practically covered. You tuck it around the bumpers, and you're good. So anyway, yeah, man, I don't know why I never told you that, Haas. 64 TR4, I love it. I love it. Sweet. Phil Hadaway says, I had dinner with Carol and Zora. Shut up. Are you serious? Yeah, Zora Duntov, for you guys don't know, is the guy that designed the Corvette, right? At Laguna Seca in 1989, we raced our Allard J2X, which Carol had raced in his earlier. No kidding, man. Put pictures up on the fan page, Phil. That's cool. That's really cool. Yeah, I never met anyone in that world. I mean, I talked to Larry Offria a lot, and he knew Carol really well. Told me some funny stories about Carol, also like Smokey Eunuch. And we're going deep in the car world here, if you guys know who Smokey Eunuch is. Larry helped Smokey Eunuch make those NASCARs. Smokey Eunuch's, look the guy up, Y-U-N-I-C-K, Eunuch, Smokey Eunuch. The most well-known cheater in NASCAR. Luigi Cinetti. Oh, wow. Jesus. Yeah, my car, since Phil, you know this, my body was designed by Michelati. That's the same guy that designed Ferraris and Lamborghinis and all sorts of stuff. So for the TR4, only the TR4, it was designed by Michelati. And it shows, like, it's really cute. I love it. I really think it's a special design. I like it way more than the TR6 and the TR2s and 3s. The TR2s and 3s are basically, a horse race harness with a motor in front of it. You're so exposed. So anyway, yeah, if you guys know who car guys here, it seems like there's a few car guys here. If you guys know who Michelati is, Pininfarina did the biggest 60s Ferraris, but like early Lamborghinis, Maseratis, and some Ferraris were designed by this guy named Michelati. I forgot his first name. But he designed the TR4 for Triumph. It shows. It looks cool. It looks really cool. I'll bring pictures next time. I gotta run, guys. I'm sorry. Maybe we should start a whole nother chat about cars. Because I feel the same way about cars that I do about amps and guitars. So I'm a Renaissance nerd. He did the Daytona. That's right. That's right. Oh, and Sunbeam Tigers. You always like, that's a cute little car. Absolutely. Giovanni. Thank you, Haas. Giovanni Michelotti. Or is it Michelotti? I don't know how you pronounce it correctly. Tomato. I think you have to say it like this. This is how you pronounce it. Is that right? I took a class in Italian. Is that a cheap joke? Anyway, maybe. It's funny, though. So, yeah. Well, what a fun trip we've had here for a little over an hour. I appreciate you guys. So next week, hopefully I have some updates about 65. I'll have this Les Paul updated. And I really would love to get your guys' thoughts. Think about it on how you would like the amps to look. Feature functionality. Good enough for jazz. That's right. And my grandfather was a jazz trumpeter. Spruce Creek, thanks for doing these chats. Oh my gosh, thank you for being here. Thank you very much. I'm honored that you'd waste your time with me. We're a bunch of like-minded nerds, I guess. The Fender thing, I thought it was important you guys understand what's going on because they're counting on people not knowing how the legal system works and getting all scared. Oh my God, Fender's coming after us, right? All they're doing is trying to burn people's money. I mean, that's literally, when you boil it down, it's just predatory. Like we can sue these people into bankruptcy if we want to get rid of them. Man, that's some bad karma right there. Seriously bad karma. I can't believe anybody would approve that. But we'll see how it turns out. I think it's going to turn out fine. It'll be one of those chapters where we go, oh yeah, remember that one CEO they had who stepped in doo-doo? Yeah, I remember that guy. Hopefully that's where we get soon. Anyway, I got to run. Real pleasure talking to you. Thanks again for all the great input today. I really appreciate it. The questions and comments, I welcome it. I don't have an ego, man. Hit me with it. It's all good. Doesn't have to be my show. It could be our show. Matter of fact, I prefer that it be our show, if that's cool with you. Anyway, I got to split. Love you guys. I'll talk to you soon. See you next week. And to be continued.